Hello all, let's have a short discussion about the genes. Some important points about the genes. What is a gene? A gene is the basic physical and functional unit of heredity. Genes are made up of DNA. In humans, genes vary in size from a few hundred DNA bases to more than 2 million bases. Genes actually act as instructions to make molecules called proteins. Many genes do not code for proteins. Many code for proteins. Each gene contains the information required to build specific proteins needed in an organism. The purpose of genes is to store information. Genes can acquire mutations in their sequence, thus leading to different variants known as alleles in the population. A gene is a region of DNA that encodes function. A chromosome consists of a long strand of DNA containing many genes. A human chromosome can have up to 500 million base pairs of DNA with thousands of genes. The term gene was introduced by Danish botanist, plant physiologist, and the genetist Wilhelm Johansen in 1909. You can see here the structure of the gene. The frequently asked questions. What is the importance of genes? Why we have genes? Answer is, genes carry instructions that tell your cells how to work and grow. Cells are the building blocks of the body, and genes are arranged in structures called chromosomes. Then another question is, how do you change genes? Whether we can change genes. Gene editing is performed using certain enzymes, particularly nucleases, and that have been engineered to target a specific DNA sequence where they introduce cuts into DNA strands, enabling the removal of existing DNA and the insertion of replacement DNA. Thus, we can change the genes by gene editing. And what is a mutated gene? What is a mutation? A mutation is a change in a DNA sequence. Any change in the sequence of DNA will lead to mutation. Mutations can result from DNA copying mistakes made during cell division, exposure to ionizing radiation, and exposure to chemicals called mutagens, or any infection by the viruses. So what are some examples of genes? Genes that are passed on to you to determine many of your traits such as your hair color and skin color. Whether you have your mother's hair, whether you have your father's hair, your mother's color, your father's color, these are all the examples of genes. Thank you so much for listening to the presentation.